Great to have you with us. Please like, subscribe, and share. Now, I got one other story I want to get to today because it is a major breaking story, and that is Catholics of the world have a new pope. Now, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? We're going to investigate a little bit of that. I've got some mixed emotions on this. I've got some mixed information on this. We're going to start with Charlie Kirk. We're going to jump into Cernovich. And finally, we've got a Vatican insider who might sum this all up. But bottom line up front, it's not looking real good. But as we get into this, please smash that like button for me. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear your comments. Let us know how we're doing. Also, share the Chris Highland Show with everybody that you know. Really appreciate everybody rolling up. All right. So they voted. They have a new pope. And that new pope is an American. Go figure. The first American pope in the Vatican's history. So for 2,000 years, no American has ever been pope until now. He was the former, I believe, archbishop in Chicago and a cardinal. So now he is the new pope. He has taken the name Pope Leo. His name is Robert Prevost, I believe. But we're going to get into Charlie Kirk's talking about him. He's evidently a registered Republican, but don't let that fool you. Let's dive right in.
Hey everybody, there is a new pope, and the pope is from Chicago. What do we actually know about this new pope? Well, the pope is from Chicago. I am as well. He served in Peru, but I'm not Catholic, by the way. I'm evangelical. It still matters who the pope is. He is a registered Republican and voted in Republican primaries and ran a pro-life group at Villanova University, so that's a good sign. Also has some, let's just say, not so great tweets about having some willingness for open borders. We'll see kind of how he is on that. Also, some George Floyd stuff that I'm not too crazy about. But overall, it seems like he's a pro-life warrior. There's a lot yet to learn about this pope. I hope that he will be a strong advocate for strong borders and for sovereignty. The first ever American pope. You're going to wonder, why is it that they picked an American pope? Could be a coincidence, could be nothing, or is it they want a voice that is also for the opening of American borders while we have President Trump? Who knows? Let's see. But by the way, borders are biblical. Close your borders. Love your people. You should, of course, love everyone. The best way to love them is to have them make their countries great. And our God is a God of order, a God of structure, and not want millions of people who we do not know coming into our country in the dilution of sovereignty. So there's a new pope. A lot more to learn about it. And congratulations to all Catholics who are excited about it. Some people are saying he's super liberal. We know he was a registered Republican. Time will tell.
Unfortunately, he does appear to be super liberal, maybe on everything but one issue. He did run a pro-life group, and hopefully he maintains that pro-life stance moving forward. And hopefully that bleeds over into the whole LGBTQ issue. But in talking to a lot of people and in looking at this, he appears to be absolutely, whether he's, even if he is a registered Republican, he appears to be absolutely anti-Trump, pro-open borders. So according to Cernovich, sorry Catholics, the new pope is an open borders globalist. He will be pushing for abortion soon. We'll see. That be the one pot on his side. We'll see. But checking out his X account to my colleagues. So here he is. Robert Prevost is the new Pope Leo. Your cowardice to act cannot be whitewashed by your thoughts and prayers. This was from Chris Murphy. I believe this was talking about George Floyd. So here he is talking, trolling Trump and Bukele and the immigration issue. Here this is again. So unfortunately, he very much looks like an open borders advocate. Whether he is pro-life will remain to be seen, truly pro-life, whether he's willing to stand up for it, whether he is willing to maintain the church's 2,000-year stance on LGBTQ and gay marriage and all of that remains to be seen. I haven't seen anything on that. But I did want to jump into, there is a Vatican insider, Leo Zagami, and he, according to him, this new pope is just simply a continuation of the globalist takeover of the Catholic Church, which is very sad, but this is in fact true. So we're going to dive into that. So let's dive into Leo Zagami, because if that's the case, then it's very, very sad. Now, this is my personal opinion, just on the surface. Obviously, this only happened a couple hours ago. Is it very much looks like part of the reason he did get elected might be his anti-Trump stance. The fact that he's an American might be a political move on the part of the Vatican, thinking that they can use an American to push back against Trump and his anti-globalist, nationalist, MAGA agenda, America First agenda. I don't know, but that's what it looks like on its face. But let's check out Leo Zagami. And like Charlie Kirk, I am also an evangelical, so I'm not a Catholic. So the new pope means nothing to me in terms of an authority issue. But it is very important who the pope is, because how go the Catholics in the world tends to dictate a lot how the world goes. It was Pope John Paul in the era of the end of the Soviet Union and Glasnost and everything happening in Poland that helped bring about the end of communist Russia. If it had been someone like Pope Francis, we would still have the Soviet Union. So it is very important for us as a geopolitical perspective. And I want my Catholic friends and neighbors to hear the gospel, and that is harder and harder when the Pope is essentially anti-gospel, and that's what we don't want. All right, so let's dive into Leo Zagami.
Is a sign by the cardinals that rather than choosing something from Asia or from Africa, they wanted to actually insidiously nominate and elevate to the pontificate somebody who is American. It's the first time in history. But Robert Francis Prevost is no friend of Donald J. Trump. He is, of course, somebody who comes from Chicago, but also with a vast history in South America that connects him to the infamous Jesuit order. And he is from an order himself, the Augustinians, who have worked hand in hand with Jesuits on the control of the educational establishment. Today, if you think about the main issues Trump is trying to fight, immigration policies, well, in this regard, he will have to fight against this Pope because he's very much a supporter of what the Democrats were doing, open borders and all the rest. It's gonna be a war against Trump waged by the church every day, in which we will hear, of course, from this Pope, what you might hear from the Democratic Party, which has demonstrated in the last few years to be the political branch of the Vatican Jesuit-led New World Order here in the United States. So it's not a good day. Some Americans might perceive it as a good day. For those who were hoping in a traditional Pope, and somebody who will support also a return to the Latin Mass, this will be, of course, a disappointment because this Pope has no intention in going back, but rather in moving forward.
Is he Francis light, or is he as bad as Francis?
He's worse than Francis.
Wow. Okay. So unfortunately, this does not look good for Catholics around the world, at least not those who are very interested in a return to traditional Christianity, to Orthodox Christianity, because Pope Francis was anything but Orthodox Christianity. He was the exact opposite in terms of his open border stance, his LGBTQ stance, all of that. And this looks like, according to this particular insider, a continuation and an acceleration of those policies. We'll keep an eye on this. It remains to be seen. And this looks like, according to Leo, he was selected in order to wage war against Trump, against America first. If he is no friend of Donald Trump, then he is no friend of America, unfortunately. So we're going to reserve judgment. We'll see what he actually does. But unfortunately, I'm not too cheerful. I'm not too hopeful on this one, but we'll see, because God can do anything. God can change any heart. And we'll see, because God holds the heart of the king in his hand and he turns it wherever he wants. We will see what happens with this. I really appreciate everybody rolling up. Thanks so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Chris Highland show with everybody that you know. I really appreciate everybody being here. You guys are awesome. Remember that God is good and he is sovereign. It'll all be good in the end. Until I catch you next time.